Mr. Graff is with us for department. Casa is with us. Ms. Grant is with us representing the child. Ms. Rudd is with us representing the intervenor, Ms. Tennyson. They are both with us. Ms. Archer is with us representing the mother, Ms. Schechter. They are both with us. Mr. Nowak is with us representing the father, Mr. Craddock, who I show is still incarcerated. So obviously he's not with us.
He's not with us, Judge. I did send an order to appear today, but I don't see him on screen.
Okay. I don't see him. I have Haven Doucette is the only one in the waiting room.
She's my caseworker, Your Honor, if you wouldn't mind letting her in.
Okay. Mr. Albie's in the waiting room, but he's for our next hearing. So that clears out our waiting room. You may proceed.
Thanks, Your Honor. We're here on a permanency hearing, and if the court would like to hear some brief testimony, I'm prepared to put that on.
Yeah, I've read the report, but we'll go ahead. Ms. Doucette, if you would unmute and raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. I have read the report, Mr. Graff, so we can just talk about anything that's happened since the report.
Okay, great. Ms. Doucette, if you'd like to just give the court an update, that would be fabulous.
Since the report was filed, I went and saw Jacob on Monday and spoke with Miss Tennyson. He's doing extremely well. She explained to me that after changing the visitations from twice a week to once a week, Jacob went 6 full days without having a seizure, which is incredible for him. He's continuing occupational therapy. He's doing speech therapy and has buttons that he communicates with. And his teacher's still continuing coming to this his home and is bringing different books with different textures for him to get to read and participate.
Great. And then I read some slightly conflicting information between your report and the CASA report. I just wanted to clarify. The home study on the mother, the ICPC home study, when we were last in court, I understood that it was still outstanding because there was additional information being requested. What's the current status of that?
It has been completed. We were able to get the background checks and the California CPS checks from them. So we have all of that information now.
Okay. But you're not recommending a change of placement at this time, given Jacob's medical needs. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Did you pass the witness, Mr. Graff?
I did, Your Honor. Sorry.
Ms. Doucette, I'm still unclear. Has the ICPC home study on mother been approved, or it's just you've gotten everything you need now to get it to a level?
We have everything we need now to a level. We don't approve, from my understanding that we don't approve it. We just staff it and see what the next step is with placement. And our recommendation is for him to continue in Miss Tennyson's home.
Okay. Well, I've always had either an approved or unapproved home study, but we'll deal with that when we get around to it. So, all right then, Ms. Archer, questions?
Yes. So why do you think it's unsafe to transport Jacob to California?
From the letters we received from his medical doctors, his PCP, it stated that it would be in the best interest for him not to be moved medically.
And do they expect him to be moved by car or by plane? Like, what are they saying is unsafe?
I am unsure to that.
But you've seen the letters?
Yes, I've seen the letters. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Would I be allowed to see the letters as well?
I've sent them to Mr. Graff. I can send them to you as well. Yes, ma'am.
That would be very helpful because from our point of view, we're unclear on whether those doctors are testifying it's unsafe to move him based on a car ride or a medical flight.
Yes, ma'am. I can send you those.
Well, everybody involved needs those letters, not just.
Yeah. I apologize, Your Honor. I thought they'd been circulated to everyone. We'll do that.
Okay, and also, this happens so often. They get filed, or maybe they get sent to all the other parties, but they never make it to me, and we don't have time to, check every case we have every day to see what might have been filed. So, send them also to Misty.
Will do, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Archer, go ahead.
Yes. Ms. Doucette, is Misty allowed to have the medical information on her son?
Yes, and I've sent her the medical information. I have a larger file that's needing to be changed into a link that I'm working on getting sent to her.
Okay, I think if you're able to do that, she would be able to get proof that he could be transported safely. But we need her to have access to the medical so that she can give that to the airline.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
And Mr. Graff, I think I said Misty. I meant send it to Brittany. I was looking at the mom and I said Misty. I meant Brittany.
I thought that's what you meant, and then when I saw mom, I was like, okay, mom's entitled to him too, so that's fine.
No, you don't have to send them. You send them to Miss Archer, but I meant Brittany.
Okay.
I'll probably hear about that later today, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, we'll get that out today, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Nowak, questions?
No questions, but I do have the letters, if that helps. Take one less recipient off the email, Gene.
Okay. Mr. Nowak, you may not know this either, but the report I read usually says about the father that he's in the ISF program with no projected release date. I thought if you were in the ISF program, it was a certain length and he would have a projected date.
He does, Judge. I just don't have that in front of me. When I tried to contact him Friday and then yesterday again, there was no luck. And I really hope that he'd be on the screen today because you did sign the order and I got it to the facility. So I'll have some words with them after we're off this hearing.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Thank you, Judge.
Every warden is a god in of himself. So
gotcha.
All right, Ms. Rudd, questions?
Is it true that have you had any contact with the doctors or the medical providers?
The only contact I've had is the letters provided by Ms. Tennyson.
Okay, no further questions.
Okay. All right, Ms. Grant.
Ms. Doucette, isn't it correct that along with determining a method of transportation, that there has to be set up a transfer of specialists and a meeting of all of the physicians to ensure that a continuity of care exists for Jacob prior to him being moved?
Yes, ma'am.
And so far, no such meeting has occurred, correct?
No, there has not been one.
Has the mother provided you with a list of projected medical providers that have been arranged in California?
She's provided me the ENT and she was working to provide me the other specialist.
Okay, and how many specialists does Jacob currently see?
I don't know the exact number, but I know it's between, I want to say 5 and 7.
Okay, if I represented to you that it's 6, would you have any reason to disagree with me?
I would not.
Okay. And right now, even traveling from his current location to the 2 to 3 hours within the state of Texas to see his physicians is very taxing on him, correct?
Yes, it is.
And sometimes we get seizures and we get lots of stuff we have to do for days after his visits in order to keep him stable, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so any move would be a big undertaking, not just a simple flight or car ride, correct?
Correct.
Okay, pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Doucette?
Just briefly, Judge, Ms. Doucette, the meeting that Ms. Grant was just asking you about, that hasn't happened yet because you were still waiting on the results of the ICPC. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And in addition to the taxing on Jacob to just be moved, he also requires a very, very high level of medical care, does he not?
Yes, he does.
Okay, and that care, those medical needs are being adequately met at this time, are they not?
Yes, they are.
All right, thank you. Pass the witness.
Anyone else have further questions? All right, then, Mr. Graff, did you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, it's just Ms. Doucette this morning.
Okay. All right, then, Ms. Archer, any witnesses?
Yes, Judge, I'd like to call Melissa Lemus, the CASA worker.
Okay, let me find her. Oh, there she is. Okay, thank you. Ms. Lemus? Ms. Archer?
Ms. Lemus, did you have a chance to go to California and visit Misty in the home?
Yes, ma'am. I went to California on December, I believe, 2nd of last year.
And can you describe the state of the home?
Yes, of course, and you'll have to give me a little grace. I am very cold and very shivering in my office. It is not warmed up.
I understand.
So when I arrived at the home, there's about, I believe, 3 to 4 cars outside. The home consists of, I believe there is an office where Mr. Deskin, the in-law, works when he works from home. The room, well, when you walk in the room, the rooms are based off of themes, if you will. So when you walk in, I would consider maybe a second living room. And then right next door is the office where Mr. Deskin works. Then right next door to that office would be the room that Carter would be in, who is Miss Schechter's other child, that I am the CASA on out of Potter County. And then
Let me know. Yeah, the first room who is it that works out of that room? I have a name, but I have no idea who that is.
Sorry, Your Honor, Mr. Deskin, which is Misty Schechter's in-law.
Okay, go ahead.
The room next to Carter's room, which I observed Carter's room to be the home is very clean. I didn't have any concerns in regards to that with the home. The new room next to that is a bathroom. I checked water is running. There's hot water. It was appropriate. The room next to that one is currently being resided by Misty and Richard, her husband. And they expressed that this would be the room that Jacob would be if he returned home. It was very safe and appropriate. She described somewhat of their plans to remodel the home or organize the home in order to meet his medical needs. And then as you leave those 2 rooms in the bathroom area, you move over to the kitchen area and the living room area, which were also clean and appropriate. It was decorated for Christmas at that time already. When you go through the kitchen, there is a laundry room. And past that laundry room was where Mr. and Mrs. Deskin, Misty's in-laws, resided.
Let me stop you. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit.
Yeah, of course. Sorry.
No, you're doing great. Would there be room if Jacob were to be moved in that home? Would there be plenty of room for him as well as Misty, as well as their in-laws?
Yes, I've had several discussions with Misty and the Deskins in regards to their plans with the home. Their current plans would be for either Misty and Richard to move into the office. And Mr. Deskin is very willing to make those arrangements if needed. Or they would take over for either the bedroom with Mr. and Mrs. Deskin is, and they would move to the they call it the apartment, but it's another building outside of the home that currently is being used for storage, but it's about a 2-story building.
Would they be, is there any plan to put Jacob out in that building?
No. He would be in the same house with Misty, Richard, and Carter.
Are there plenty of people in that house that could help Misty supervise Jacob or her husband?
Yes, her mother-in-law, Mrs. Deskin, is actually a stay-at-home mom. She's not employed. And she has expressed that she's more than willing to be an extra support for Misty. They've also expressed several community members that would be willing to help them. And Mr. Deskin also has shared that with his job as a government contractor, that he would have some flexibility that if he needed to be home for some reason to help, he'd be able to.
Do you get the impression from being in the home and talking to Misty that she would be protective of Jacob?
I do.
Objection calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Does Misty keep in contact with you? And how often?
Yes, Missy and I, she probably calls me about 2 to 3 times a week. But I've also had myself, because we had hosted his Carter's and Misty's visitations at our office. So we've had very consistent contact.
So do you witness visitation between Jacob and mom?
No, I have not witnessed visitation between Jacob and mom. The only visitation I've been able to witness is Carter's visits due to them being hosted at our office and now subsequently moved to placement due to how
And
due to
Is
progress.
does she appear to be a good mom in that capacity to the other child?
Yes, I've witnessed her parenting skills. She often will play games with him and ask him about school and how's that's going. There's even been instances where when Carter first moved, he had a little bit of trouble with some of the other boys in the home, and she was really encouraging to help support them as well and to be understanding that, you know, they're also going through their own things. And she just love on them. But she's also helped him with some educational things in some of the visits, in terms of like
Your Honor, I'm
counting.
going to object at this point as to relevance of the other child's case to the permanency review of Jacob.
I also think that, I mean, I'm hearing enough about, I've heard really what I need to about
Okay.
the state of mom's home.
Well, I have no further questions then, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Lemus, you talked a lot about the home and who's there. I've got a couple questions. I read this in some report. I don't know whose report it was, but I read that Ms. Schechter has to care for her disabled husband. Is that an accurate statement?
He is currently on disability. He had an injury about, I believe it would now be 8 months ago, possibly. He is on disability, but he also is employed full time. So she is his caretaker. But in addition to her, as I stated earlier, her mother-in-law also helps with his care. But he's very functioning, if you will.
Okay, well then why is she his caretaker if he's functioning?
It's due to his seizures. He has seizures that sometimes occur in different scenarios. But they've been working with medical providers. He was supposed to have a surgery recently, and he's been on some medication to try to combat that.
Okay, so she's not like she's not receiving any kind of assistance as his caretaker. It's just she's around in case he has a seizure.
I'm not too sure on that, Your Honor. I believe Ms. Schechter would need to clarify on that part.
Okay, all right. And another thing, then, when you were in the home and talking to all the occupants in the home, did y'all have any discussions about all of the medical providers that are going to have to be set up for Jacob? I didn't hear anything about that, and that to me is more important than the fact that there's enough rooms to have him there.
Yes, Your Honor. I actually did have a conversation with them in regards to emergency plans and some medical providers for them. They've discussed, I believe, Lema, I can't pronounce it very well. Lema as one of the, and another local children's hospital that was nearby. And she did express to me that his doctor, which is one of her mentors while she's currently in the nursing program, who is about 15 minutes away, would be one of his providers. But she did not specifically say a name that I can recall off the top of my head.
Okay, so
Your Honor, if I could just,
I
have a clarification. Amarillo Area Casa is not appointed to Jacob. So
Correct.
Yeah.
Ms. Lemus did not write that report.
Okay. All right. Well, Ms. Lemus, suffice it to say, you didn't get the names of anywhere from 5 to 7 different kinds of specialists that they have lined up for Jacob when he's moved, when and if he's moved. You didn't have that kind of.
I did not have that specific conversation at that time.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Graff, did you have questions?
Well, Ms. Nelson clarified most of them, but I was going to just ask a couple. I'll narrow it down to one based on Ms. Nelson's clarification. Ms. Lemus, Carter is not currently placed with his mother, is he?
Not at this time.
And he doesn't have the medical needs that his brother Jacob has, does he?
No, he does not.
All right. Thank you. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. If Carter's not placed with mom, why does Carter have a bedroom in mom's home?
Are you asking me, Your Honor? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're the one that saw the house.
Okay. Yeah. So I went in regards to we were concerned that the homestay was taking quite some time. So my director allowed me to travel out there to see the home to determine if Carter would where Carter would stay. And I believe in Carter's case, we are already kind of going towards the reunification phase within there.
Okay, so Carter's the subject of another CPS case?
Yes, Your Honor, out of Potter County.
Okay, that clarifies okay, thank you. All right,
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Nowak, did you have questions for her?
Judge, you stole most of my thunder, but I just want to be crystal clear. Good morning, Melissa. It's always good to see you.
Good morning, Mr. Novak. It's great to see you as well.
Thanks. And I think you know all the answer to these questions. You don't know whether Misty Schechter has medical training to care for Jacob, correct?
My understanding based off my conversations was that when she was in Texas, she was a CN.
Objection, anything based on conversations is hearsay unless a party to the case.
If you're talking about conversations with Misty, you can answer the question.
Yes, Your Honor, there are conversations with Misty.
Okay, you can answer the question then.
That she was a CNN when she was back here in Texas, and she currently is working in nursing school at this time. While she may not be certified at this time, I'm not positive if she is or isn't certified. Yet in California, I haven't been able to clarify that. As Mr. Graff stated, Carter does not have the severe medical needs that Jacob has. But she does have some knowledge, my understanding.
You were there on behalf of Carter, correct?
Yes, sir, for the most part. I did reach out to Nita in order to just try to see if she had any questions that she wanted me to ask. And so I did ask a couple of those questions, but for the most part, it was for Carter.
Yes, ma'am. And in your direct testimony, you talked about other people in the house that could assist with Jacob, but you don't have any clue as to whether or not they have the medical training necessary to care for someone like Jacob, correct?
No, not at this time.
Okay. And you also mentioned, and it's always good to have a village, have a community to help support you, but you don't know whether there's anyone in their particular community that has the medical training to care for Jacob on a daily basis, correct?
Not at this time, based off that specific visit.
Melissa, thank you so much. Judge, I pass the witness.
All right. So, Melissa, you're the CASA worker on Carter's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you know what the reason for removal was? Carter removed from Misty?
My understanding, Your Honor, based off the affidavit, is that it was due to Mr. Craddock's drug use.
Okay. So the removal was because of father, not Ms. Schechter. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay. Ms. Rudd, questions?
So, are you aware of Jacob's medical needs? The fact that he needs care 24/7, not just being observed and provided care, but actual 24-hour a day care.
Just based off my conversations with Misty.
So
yes.
You don't know anything about Jacob or his medical needs other than what, and let me back up. Are you aware that mom has had no contact with any of Jacob's doctors and that mom doesn't even know what Jacob's medical needs are?
Based off of my conversations with Ms. Schechter, she has expressed some trouble getting in contact with his providers due to some tensions between her and placement.
Okay.
And that they believe that she did not have parental rights to receive that information.
And are you aware that she's not actually enrolled in a nursing program? If she's telling you she's in nursing school, that's not true?
My understanding is that she is pursuing college at this moment with the intent to be in the nursing program. I understand that you have to complete basics right before you get into your nursing program.
And are you aware that she hasn't been a licensed CNA for like 7 years?
It has been a while since she did express it's been a while since she was licensed, as I said, in Texas.
And are you aware that she has basically had no contact with Jacob for like 5 years?
I'm only able to testify as to what I've been provided by Ms. Schechter, as I'm not a party to this case. So,
okay, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Grant?
Ma'am, would it be fair to say that as of today, there is no room properly set up for Jacob to reside in California?
At this time, there would be some,
It's
believe
just
it'd
a
be-
yes or no question, ma'am. At this time, is there a room ready for Jacob
Correct.
reside in?
Well,
Yes.
Ms. Lemus, I'm gonna protect you from this. You don't know what he needs as far as actual equipment, everything he has to have at hand to take care of his medical needs. You don't know that, do you?
No, Your Honor,
Okay,
considering
so
I'm not his CASA.
I'm protecting you from that question. You would have no way to know if that room or that house is set up for his medical needs. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't want you be put out on the limb to answer questions that's not your job. So, okay,
Well,
Ms. Grant.
and I was not trying to do that, Judge. I could even ask it more generic. Is there an empty room available for any person to move into right now?
I would say yes. The family
Okay.
would need to make some adjustments, if you will.
Okay, and were you able to view the storage area out back to see how full it is or how much work might be entailed in vacating that area to make it livable?
I did not see the inside of the storage room.
Perfect. So you are testifying not to any length of time by which anything could be ready and don't have that knowledge. Would that be fair to say to you?
I would say yes, since my visit was back in December. I haven't been out again.
Perfect. And one last question. In the other case, is there a date or planned time to reunite the other child with the mother in California?
My understanding is we are currently trying to get a reunification meeting scheduled between all parties, and our upcoming hearing or the next hearing on the case is actually next Tuesday.
Okay, so there is something approaching for the other child in the near future, say 6 to 8 weeks, maybe.
That's my understanding.
Thank you. Pass the witness, Judge.
All right. Anyone have further questions for Ms. Lemus? All right, then, Ms. Archer, any other witnesses?
Yes, I'd like to call the mother, Misty Schechter.
Okay, we're gonna have to do this real quickly. We're 5 minutes late for my next hearing, so. Ms.
do my
Schechter, raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do, Your Honor.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Archer, briefly.
Ms. Schechter, why have you had no conversations with Jacob's current medical doctors?
Every time I call, I am told that they are under the impression.
Objection, hearsay.
Sustained.
Have you tried to contact his current medical doctors?
Yes, on multiple occasions I have.
Have you been allowed to talk with them?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Have you tried to line up doctors in California for Jacob's medical care?
Yes, ma'am.
What did they need for you to line that up?
Medical records.
Okay. And those are the same medical records you've been unable to obtain?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you asked your caseworker whether she could help you obtain the medical records?
Yes, ma'am.
If Jacob was to go to California, would it be by flight or by vehicle?
It would be by flight.
Have you talked to the flight that would transport him?
Yes, ma'am.
Did they say that they would be able to transport a child with Jacob's medical condition?
Objection. Question calls for hearsay.
Sustained.
Have you ever helped take care of Jacob before?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you trained to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Because there were allegations in the report that you abandoned the kids, where were you during this time period?
In Vermont during COVID. I went for a Christmas visit and ended up getting stranded there because my car broke down.
Your Honor, I'm going to object this line of testimony. This was dealt with at the adversary hearing.
I'll sustain it because that's not the purpose of today's hearing.
Yes, Your Honor. Are you attending visits with Jacob?
Yes, ma'am.
There are allegations that you've been late to those visits. Why have you been late?
The Teams meeting app sometimes does not work. It has done it to me. It has done it to Barbara as well, where we are either late or it will not work due to weather or the application for the the app is not working.
And why
It's
have
also
you,
Go
why
ahead.
have you ended visits early at times?
Because while Jacob is sleeping, the lights are shining in his face, causing seizures. And I took it upon myself to end the visit early based on the information that I was provided at Cook's Children's Hospital when he went for his seizure test, that if he's having seizures, to dim lights and have less visual and physical stimulation as possible. So I felt that it was medically necessary as his mother to end the visit early for his benefit.
And one last question. If you are provided medical access, do you think you can get a list of doctors that would take care of him in California?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
All right. Does anybody else have questions for Ms. Schechter? I'm not going to go down the list.
No questions.
All right. I'll say this, Ms. Schechter, and you can discuss this with Ms. Archer. I see no reason why you as a parent cannot have full access to the medical records, and I'm surprised that any physician would deny a parent access to the medical records. So if anyone involved in this case is hampering Ms. Schechter getting the medical records, then we need to go down a different path. My position is parents are always should always have access to all of their child's medical records, no matter who the custodian of the child is. So I'm just throwing that out to everybody. So,
Your Honor, I have retrieved them as the ad litem, and I'd be happy to send my set over to Miss Archer's office if that would assist this case in some way.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The court's not going to have problems with whoever gets medical records between all the parties. That should go without saying. So,
Okay. I'll be happy to send them to Miss Archer, what I have retrieved.
okay. Ms. Schechter, I've read every time I read these reports, a lot of it, they go back and cover things that every report I read says that you have not been the primary caregiver for Jacob in years. Is that a true statement or not? I don't want to hear the reasons behind it. I just want to know if that's an accurate statement.
That is correct.
Okay. All right. Okay, then, Ms. Archer, no other witnesses?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Nowak, witnesses?
No witnesses, Judge.
Thank you. Ms. Rudd?
I'm not going to call any witnesses today.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Grant, give me recommendations, please.
Your Honor, I just recommend we continue with Jacob's current placement, that we get those medical records exchanged hands, and that they continue the process. The next step in the ICPC is the review by the department here in Texas to get that approved, and that we get that scheduled ASAP.
All right, thank you. And Casa, anything to add? I don't know if it's Miss.
I've got it unmuted. No,
Okay.
Your Honor, we have nothing to add. We agree with Ms. Grant.
Okay. All right. Okay. I will continue the department's temporary managed conservator, continue the current placement. I'm going to order that Jacob not be moved without a prior court order. There's too much going on here, and I can tell you, I'm going to want to hear from some of these medical providers before I would ever consider moving him, based on what I read in the reports. I'm going to have to hear it firsthand from physicians. And on the part of the Ms. Schechter, on your part, I'm going to want to hear from physicians that have been lined up to take care of his specific needs. Like, for instance, I'm going to want to know what these 5 to 7 doctors, what their role is, and what the equivalent would be in California to have a continuum of care, as Ms. Grant stated. So that's why I'm entering the order that he not be moved without a prior court order. So we got a lot of ground to cover. I don't have to wait on an ICPC home study to place with a parent, but in this case, I'm not going to move until I've seen that ICPC, because this is not your usual case. So
Correct. I understand.
I'm going to set a final in this case for April 30th, 2025. And I know with what I just said, that's a lot for lawyers to get done. I will note that this case has not been extended, and this might be a case that needed to be extended for these very reasons. So,
Your Honor, we're also requesting an order for mediation. The parties discussed it prior to the hearing.
okay. Can they do that with Ms. Schechter? Can she appear in some kind of virtual?
Yeah, community mediation can accommodate that.
Okay, great. Okay, in addition to my previous order, I will order mediation. So again, I'll set the final for April 30th. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance of April 30th to see when we would have that hearing.
Thank
Can
you.
I ask one question?
Yeah, who's Miss Schechter's?
It's mom, yes.
Yeah.
As Haven had pointed out that Jacob has had less seizures with the visitations being down to once a week. I would like for the visits to not be so early when he is asleep that causes seizures with the light shining in his face while he is asleep. So is there any way that, because I've tried multiple times to change the time of my visits for this reason, is there a way that we can get it in court order that my times be changed to when he's awake to where it's gonna be more medically necessary for him?
Well, I'm not trying to be trite here, but if I hear from one of Jacob's medical providers, not from you, that thousands of miles away, that is exactly what's happening, then you bet I'll sign that order in a heartbeat. But it needs to be on the recommendation of one of his physicians. So if you get that, we shouldn't have to come back to court to move the time of his visit. If it's physically helpful to Jacob, then I would think you wouldn't need to come back to court to get that kind of order. So.
Your Honor, my client is telling us that is 8 to 10 is his most awake time.
We're not here today for that, and I don't have time for it today. But if that becomes an issue, somebody can file a motion. If we're following what the doctors say as far as what's the best visitation time with mom, then I'm not going to get involved in it. I'm not a doctor. So
very good.
Okay. All right, you guys, y'all have a good week. We'll stand in recess, and I'm going to be back here. Mr. Graff is with us for the department. Casa is with us. Ms. Rudd is with us representing Ms. Tennyson, the intervenor. Ms. Rudd, is Ms. Tennyson with us? She's not in my waiting room.
She is. She's on screen, or she was.
Oh, okay. Oh, she's under your name. That's why I didn't recognize her. Okay, so Ms. Tennyson is also with us.
Yes.
Mr. Nowak is with us representing the father, Mr. Craddock, who I show is incarcerated. And Ms. Archer's with us representing the mother, Ms. Schechter, who is with us. Ms. Grant represents the child. She's not with us, and she's not in my waiting room. This case was set for 10 o'clock. It's 10:11. We're going to proceed in her absence.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting, but Mr. Craddock has been released.
Okay.
In fact, he participated in a 6-hour mediation yesterday from his work site. He will not be here this morning, and it's not that he doesn't want to be here. He's just having technical issues, and it's probably on my end sending him the link.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Well, my understanding, I was given information that this case did settle at mediation, and then they gave me a date. Ms. Canada gave us a date that she was requesting the final be set. So we'll just be treating this as a permanency today. And with that having been said, Mr. Graff, who's your witness?
Do we have Ms. Campos available, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. She's the only one in the waiting room. Let me get her in.
Great.
All right. Ms. Campos is with us. So is she your first witness?
She is, Your Honor. And what I would just suggest, since we have reached an agreement, if we could just have her give us an update to put on the record, and I can fill in any gaps because she is new to the case.
Okay. My understanding is we're not going ahead with the final today because the placement needs time to get licensed. Is that a correct assumption?
She's been licensed. My understanding, she needs a 6-month window out past June. Sorry, Ms. Rudd, I cut you off.
Okay.
And actually what we need is, we thought we needed out past June. Her license date was February 3rd. So we need the final hearing after August, March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, after August 4th.
All right. Well, then I'm going to have to get a new date because the date I was given was July 23rd.
Yeah, and we have no objection to that, Your Honor. I just want to applaud the parents and Ms. Tennyson. Everyone worked really, really hard. 2 rounds of mediation, but I think we came to a result that everybody feels good about.
Well, that's great. I'm always happy to hear that. For the attorneys, just so you know, detail your time on that because if you spent that much time on it, then I want to be sure that we get you paid for it. So,
thank you, Your Honor.
So I'm just looking at some other dates that Brittany gave me for other cases today. If we need to push it into August, we've got a docket on August 20th. Will that work?
Would be great.
Okay, that's
no objection.
Okay, that's what we'll do then. All right, Mr. Graff, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Campos, if you would please, as the new social worker, just give the court an update on the status of the case.
Everything is going well. We came to an agreement yesterday. between the parents and Barbara. From what I hear, Jacob's doing really well. I'm sorry, I don't know much. I just know I've been on here for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I don't have a lot of information. But I do want to say that I'm happy that we came to an agreement and that everybody's doing good. So I will continue to see Jacob for the next 6 months or however long, and we'll just go from there. Sorry.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Judge, I don't know if you've had a chance to review, because I don't know that we have all the signatures yet, but essentially what the agreement entails is permanent managing conservatorship with Ms. Tennyson, possessory rights with the parents. That includes some visitation, and somebody can correct me if I have some of this wrong, but and then some agreements in the event of Jacob's passing in terms of what final arrangements and things like that will be made. But the department in St. Francis are happy with the result and agree with it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Ms. Archer, do you have any questions?
No, Judge, I don't.
Mr. Nowak?
I don't have any questions, but I would like to recognize Jerry Glover. She did a great job yesterday with a difficult case. And just for the lawyers on here, the settlement agreement did not include visitation for my guy. I've already talked to Jerry. She said that was an oversight, so there'll likely be a new draft circulated. There'll be no surprises, though.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Judge.
Sounds good. Ms. Rudd, any questions?
Actually, Your Honor, no, I don't have any questions of this witness.
Okay. Ms. Grant is not with us, so Mr. Graft, anything else we need to do today?
Not that I'm aware of, Judge.
All right. Anybody else have any witnesses or anything that needs to be added? Ms. Rudd?
Your Honor, I was going to call Barbara and just let her tell everyone kind of how Jacob's doing.
Okay, sounds good.
Barbara, I guess you need to be sworn in.
Yeah, Ms. Tennyson, if you'd raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Rudd.
Barbara, can you please tell the court just basically how Jacob's doing health-wise, how he's doing with visitations, and just so we know, because all we've heard is negative stuff, and it seems to me like he's doing pretty well. So I'd like you to fill the court in.
Yes, when he initially got home from the hospital, after being there for a month, he was completely shut down, wouldn't even open his eyes, wouldn't acknowledge anyone. And it took me about 6 weeks to get him out of his shell. And we were able to start therapy, and he has surprised all of us. Yesterday, he had a speech evaluation, and we were able to feed him a few bites of chocolate pudding, and he did amazing. We are so proud of him.
Sounds great.
I have no further questions. I just kind of wanted to let the court know that it's good. He's making progress, and
yeah, that's great to hear.
He's doing very well.
Great. Okay, is anything else we need to take up today? No? All right.
Sorry.
Somebody said something.
I would like to say something, if I may.
Okay.
I just want to say this is my first coming to an end of a case as a CASA worker. I tell you, I saw the system work. I'm so proud of everybody. I don't know who said the right things, who broke through the layer of ice, whoever did whatever that made everybody come together. And I'm so proud of the parents. I'm so proud of Barbara. I cried. I cried yesterday. This was beautiful. So thank you.
That's great to hear. That's
it was God.
Yes,
it was God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, and I'll just say this is a great group of lawyers that were on this case. So
yes,
that's very impressive to hear how well that went. So you're right. The system sometimes does work like it's supposed to.
It's great.
All right, then. Ms.
Can I
Grant's not with us
ask
to make any
one thing?
recommendations, but I will just maintain the status quo. So I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the current placement. I will set the final for August 20th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties can talk to their attorneys, or all of you can go on the courts online docket a day or two before August 20th to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. So thank you all for the hard work you put in yesterday, it sounds like, and thank all the parties for being willing to do what's best for the child. That's really refreshing to hear when everybody puts their own wants and needs aside and does what they think's best for the child. So congratulations to all of you. Okay,
Thank
that
you.
will conclude this hearing.
Mr.
I will be
Albee is with
back
us
in
for the
about 10
department.
minutes to call a Don.
Casa is with us. Miss Grant is with us representing the child. And Miss Cedar, the mother, is with us. Mr. Burris, Senior, the father, I show he's an alleged father, but he's not in the waiting room. And he's not represented by counsel. So I have Stephanie Corbett and Amy McLeod in the waiting room.
Stephanie Corbett will be my witness. Your Honor, for the record, Mr. Burris is the adjudicated, if not presumed, father of Tommy Jr.
All right, I will make that change then. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Mr. Albee.
Your Honor, before I begin asking Ms. Corbett any questions, we had set this as a potential final. We had filed a motion to modify, and we would like to proceed as a final hearing in this case. Mr. Burris has only been served with that by publication because we can't find him still long enough to get him served with actual documentation.
Are you trying to terminate him?
No, we are not.
Okay, then is there any objections from any of the parties that are present? I don't have a problem going forward unless you were trying to terminate him, then I'd have to give him a lawyer. So.
I have no objection.
Okay, no one objects, then we can go ahead and hear this as a final. So,
thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Corbett, you're a St. Francis Ministries permanency specialist.
Yes, sir.
In that capacity, you are familiar with Tommy, 16 years old, and currently lives with his mother, Rachel Cedar, in Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
And how long has he been in Rachel Cedar's home in Oklahoma?
He's been there since November, but officially placed December 3rd.
And he was placed after an ICPC home study was done on Miss Cedar's home?
Yes, sir.
And that ICPC home study was approved by the state of Texas and by Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
Prior to being placed with Miss Cedar, Tommy had been in the care of the department for a number of years.
Yes, sir.
And in fact, he had been brought into the care of the department by his father, Tommy Burris Sr.
Yes.
And we tried to work with Mr. Burris, gave him services, and he's a long haul trucker, and he did not really comply with our services.
That's correct.
And for the last number of months, he's been out of contact. He hasn't been in contact with you or Tommy Burris.
That's correct.
Do you know if there was a prior child support order for Mr. Burris?
I'm not aware. I'm sorry.
All right. And you know that he's a long hard chucker, but do you have any idea how much he makes, what his annual income is, or monthly income, or anything like that?
No, sir.
At this time, are you asking? Well, drop that. Let me get to a little further along here. Rachel Cedar is Tommy's mother, and when we took conservatorship with Tommy, she was in Oklahoma City and she was not doing very well.
Correct.
And since then, she has worked her way through some criminal issues, and then she has gone to some rehab, and she's worked her way through some substance abuse issues.
Yes, sir.
And she's been diligent in doing that.
Yes, sir.
And at this point in time, she's been clean and sober for some time. And her home is satisfactory to care for her son.
Yes, sir.
And he's been there since November. Have we had people who've gone into the home to review the home or see the home?
Yes, sir. I have myself.
And is Tommy doing well in that home?
He's doing well in the home, yes.
And has he made his opinion as to whether or not he wants to remain permanently in the home with his mom? No.
Yes, he has.
And is he comfortable there?
Yes.
And he would rather be with his mom than in foster care.
Correct.
Today, are you asking that Tommy be placed under the sole management conservatorship of Rachel Cedar?
Yes, sir.
And that the department would be dismissed?
Yes, sir.
That Tommy Burris Sr. would be named as a possessory conservator?
Yes, sir.
He would be ordered to pay child support based upon minimum wage?
Yes, sir.
And that's only because we don't know how much he's making. If Miss Cedar needs to take him back to court at some point in time, she can do that.
Yes, that's correct.
In addition, as far as visitation is concerned, we would ask the court to restrict that visitation to some sort of virtual visits upon times that Miss Cedar and Tommy Jr. can agree to talk with Tommy Sr.
Yes.
You believe all that would be in the best interest of Tommy?
Yes, I do.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Grant.
Ma'am, is the child receiving any health benefits from the state of Texas?
I believe his will switch to Oklahoma.
Okay, so are you requesting any reimbursement to the mother or the state of Oklahoma for healthcare services?
No, ma'am.
Pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, then, Mr. Alley, do you have anything further?
I do, Your Honor. I would call Miss Rachel Cedar.
Okay. Ms. Cedar, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, if you raise your right hand, please. You swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Albee.
Miss Cedar, you are Tommy's mother.
Yes, sir.
And you have worked through some services and worked through some issues of your own so that you would be able to take care of your son.
Yes, sir.
And he's been in your home since November. And are y'all adjusting to that lifestyle?
Yes.
And has Tommy Jr. explained to you that he wants to stay in your home?
Yes, sir.
And do you want him to stay in your home?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking the court then to name you as the managing conservator of Tommy Jr.?
That's correct.
And you would like for the department to get out of this case if you could get them out, wouldn't you?
Well, yes, but
And I understand that. Now, Tommy Sr. is a long haul truck driver. Have you heard from him?
I have not, but Tommy Jr. has twice, and supposedly he works at an oil rig and not long haul no more.
Okay. Do you happen to know where he's working in an oil rig?
I do not at this moment.
Okay. And if the court orders that he pay some child support today, you understand that you would have the right to enforce that and maybe modify it at some point in time.
Correct.
And are you asking the court to do that?
Yes, sir.
And then I've asked that the visitation between Tommy Jr. and Tommy Sr. be virtual at times when either you or Tommy Jr. can arrange it with Tommy Sr. Is that appropriate visitation?
That would be it.
Thank you, Ms. Cedar. Your Honor, I'll pass the witness.
All right, thank you, Ms. Grant. Questions?
Ma'am, Tommy turns 17 in just a couple of weeks, right?
Correct.
So this order is effective basically for about a year, correct?
Correct.
And is he receiving health services from the state of Oklahoma?
Yes, he is.
Okay, pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Cedar? All right, Mr. Allen, anything further?
No, Your Honor, we rest.
All right, Ms. Grant, any witnesses?
No witness, just Judge, I would just recommend that the court approve the pleadings as requested by the department.
Okay. All right. Where'd she go? Ms. Talley, any costs have anything else to add?
Nothing to add, Your Honor. We're in agreement with all parties.
Okay. Give me just a second. Okay, then, based on what I've heard today, I will name Ms. Cedar as sole permanent managing conservator of Tommy Jr. I'll name Mr. Burris Sr. as permanent possessory conservator. I'll set Mr. Burris Sr.'s child support based on minimum wage under Texas law. I'll order that Mr. Burris Sr.'s visitation be as agreed to by the parents and by Tommy Jr. And if no agreement is reached, then he'll have 1 hour monthly virtual visits. So, Ms. Cedar, I just did that because you're not going to make a 17-year-old not visit if he doesn't want to. And if he wants to, he's going to figure out a way to do it. So it's just going to be between the three of you to figure that out. So I will dismiss the department and all other court-appointed relationships after all appellate and de novo periods have expired. Since we've got a final resolution in this case, there'll be no more hearings set. And Ms. Cedar, I won't make you answer the question as Mr. Albee did. I'm saying you're ready to get rid of the department. I know you're ready to be rid of me, so I won't even make you answer that. So congratulations on getting everything done and getting your son back.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll stand in recess on this case. I'll be back at 10:15 to call a Hartley County final hearing. With us from Ms. Ledbetter. Mr. Nowak is with us representing the child. Mr. Michelson is with us representing the father, Mr. McLeod, who's incarcerated. Ms. Archer is with us representing the mother, Ms. McLeod, who is with us. I have Karen's in the waiting room.
She will be my witness if we get that far, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Judge, I did want to tell you that in the motion I filed to extend, there's a mistake. I have the department request. The department is not the one requesting the extension.
Okay, I haven't seen it. Was it sent to my office or just filed?
I just filed it. Was I supposed to send it?
Yeah, I mean that's what I said in our last hearing. We can't check 300 cases every day to see what gets filed. So if it doesn't get sent to Brittany, then I haven't seen it. So if you'll take a minute and email it directly to me,
okay,
then I will. We'll take a quick break and I'll look over it.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, I've received the motion to retain the case on the court's docket and extend the case. Let me ask first of the other parties, are there objections to this?
Your Honor, the department would object at this time. We were prepared for a final. We're ready to proceed. We will concede that Ms. McLeod has been working some services.
Well, I'll just put it this way, Ms. Archer, if of course your motion doesn't say, I've read the report. I know that your client has finally started doing some things. Let me ask Mr. Nowak, child seems to be doing very well at High Plains Children's Home. Do you object to the continuance?
You know, I hate to be the voice that results in termination. I don't necessarily object to it, Judge, but my biggest goal today is to somehow get this precious little girl in to see an ENT so she could have her tonsils taken out.
Yeah, I read that, and apparently, is it Medicaid that said she didn't meet the requirements because she hadn't had enough sore throats, or I read something about that.
I can't believe she hadn't had enough. She's had strep just about since I've been involved in this case, and that's probably a better question for the specialist caseworker.
Okay. Well, let me just say this. I don't want to have to try the case twice. I wouldn't necessarily, Ms. McLeod's right on the border of what I would call having made a good faith effort to complete her services, but I'm inclined to grant the continuance on a very short-term basis to see if she continues. She was a late bloomer as far as starting services, and so I don't want to extend this the full 6 months. I just want to see if she's going to progress or if this was just a last-ditch effort to keep from having the hearing today. So, Ms. Archer, I'll grant your motion to extend the case. I'm going to set a pretty quick perm hearing so that we'll see if Ms. McLeod continues to work the services that she's doing now. Y'all, anybody can, I don't need anybody under oath, but y'all correct me if I'm wrong, that she had a positive meth test on December 4th at over 20,000. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
That's why I have a real hard time saying, and plus I show she had 7 no-shows for drug tests. So I have a real hard time swallowing that that's a good faith effort to complete her services. But I will grant the motion. And we'll treat this as a perm hearing so we can take up any issues that might be involved with Emberly right now before we come back, which is going to be probably in about 2 months. So, Brittany, while we're doing that, if you'll be looking for a date where we could have a final in this case in a couple of months.
Yes, I am looking right now.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Albee, is there anything that does the department need to call a witness to deal with any issues between now and 2 months from now?
Judge, if you'll just let me call Shay, I'll just do a quick permanency review hearing and we'll get it taken care of.
Great. Okay.
And she is currently placed in the children's home in Randall County.
She is.
And her attorney has mentioned that she has strep problems and that we're having issues trying to get a doctor to take care of her tonsils or whatever needs to be done. Are you aware of those issues?
Yes, sir.
And are we, as the department and St. Francis Ministries, taking steps to take care of this little girl?
Yes, we are.
What kind of steps are we taking?
I am waiting on another referral to the ENT here. They're a little backed up, but they're working on getting her surgery set for end of February, early March. We're just waiting on one more referral, they told me. I mean, she's had strep 7 times since March. So.
And will you follow up on that today or tomorrow so that we can make sure that we've done everything we can?
I actually followed up on it last night. So that's what we are. That's where we're at right now.
Thank you, Shay. As far as Miss Amy McLeod is concerned, she's been ordered to work services. What services, if any, has she completed at this time?
She completed her OSAR and Padre program. She started counseling with Jennings in April of 24, but then she started counseling again with BetterHelp just recently in December. So she stopped going to Jennings. And she's scheduled to start her parenting and drug addiction. I believe Natalie told me on tomorrow, the 20th.
And is it correct that she took a drug screen in December that was positive for methamphetamine?
Yes.
Are you asking that she drug screen today?
Yes, please.
Are you asking for a hair follicle and a UA drug screen today?
Yes.
And where does Miss McLeod currently reside?
Let's just ask her. Miss McLeod, if you'll unmute.
Yes, sir.
Do you have do you have video?
Yes, just a second. Yes, sir.
Okay, where are you today?
At my house.
Where's that?
In Dalhart, Texas.
Okay, so what's the nearest one to?
Dumas.
Would be in yes, it'd be in Dumas, Your Honor.
Do you have transportation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, and you, Ms. McLeod, you heard what all was going on. You were just right on the border of me going ahead and hearing this case today.
Yes,
so, while you're on video, and I'll tell you, any slip ups between now and when we come back in 2 months, and I'm going to have no sympathy for your problems. So,
Understand.
okay. All right then.
And
go ahead,
may
Mr.
I
Ellis.
continue? Thank you. If I'll continue for just briefly, Your Honor. The child's father is Christopher McLeod.
Yes.
And where is he currently residing?
He's incarcerated in Kansas.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting, but could we have Mom on screen?
Yeah. Mr. McLeod, you need to leave your video on because the other lawyers have the right to watch you and see your demeanor. That's part of what a court proceeding involves.
So Mr. McLeod is currently incarcerated. Do you know where he's incarcerated?
He's in Kansas, and they just moved him to. I just sent this to Mr. Michelson this morning. He won't be released until 2026.
Okay. And have you been in correspondence with him to advise him of what's going on in this case?
The last letter Peyton sent came back in January, and I just sent a new one last week. He knows what's going on in the case, and he's willing to work services, but I mean, the prison system doesn't have too many options.
Okay. So right now, you would agree with me that it would not be safe to return Emberly to either parent at this time?
Yes, sir.
And it would be contrary to Emberly's general welfare to remove her from her current placement and place her with her parent?
Yes, sir.
So you're asking the court to continue the department as temporary managing conservators until we can have a final when the court sets a final in a couple of months.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other orders other than the drug screen that you're asking for that the court needs to make today?
I don't believe so.
Thank you, Shay. I'll pass the witness, Sean.
All right, thank you. Shay, you testified that she did an OSAR that, and I've read this too, that recommended Padre, which she did. Is that correct?
Yes.
But they won't graduate her because she wouldn't go drug test. Is that also a correct statement?
Yes, sir.
So we can't really say she successfully completed Padre because Padre won't graduate her. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Did she do the Padre? Did she complete that Padre before she tested positive on December 4th?
Yes, she completed it on October.
Okay, so do we need another OSAR and make her follow those recommendations since obviously it didn't take?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
On your honor, I do have the approved ICPC to move Emberly to Oklahoma after her surgery.
Okay. Yeah, that was, let's see. Okay. I read your report. That's with, it's affected kin?
Yes, sir.
And they would be willing to adopt. Is that also true?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's see then. Ms. Archer, did you have questions for Ms. Cairns?
Yes, Ms. Cairns, did she also complete a psychosocial?
Yes.
And did she explain or did she have a reason or excuse of why she didn't go do the drug test that you sent her to recently?
She said she arrived a couple minutes late.
Okay, does she have car issues?
I don't remember the exact excuse, but I give parents over 24 hours to get there.
Would you be, if she needs a ride today, is the department willing to help with that?
Yes.
Also, it's my understanding she's had some difficulty with Jennings counseling. Is that correct?
Yes.
Would the department be willing to offer her a different counselor?
Yes, but I believe she started the BetterHelp.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, I can give her a new, yes, I can give her a new counselor if that's what she wants.
And are you in favor of moving the child due to the ICPC?
I apologize.
Is the department in favor of moving the child due to the approved ICPC?
Yes.
And so are you asking her to be moved after the surgery just because that's already set up here?
Yes, we have a meeting next week to see, because I mean, we don't want her to wait another month. If we can have the surgery done here and the foster parents, just bring her back and forth. But I also don't want her to be uncomfortable. So we're looking at that too, on how fast we could get her into Oklahoma if it's faster than doing it here. But I have a meeting with my supervisor and director next week.
Would you update us what you find out on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much. I have no further questions.
All right. Ms. Cairns, is this fictive kin in Oklahoma, is Emberly, does she know them?
Yes, she does.
They've had a relationship in the past that's been good.
They have, and they've just recently started phone calls to try and kind of build that bond, again.
Okay. I know she's only 6, but has she voiced any, is she looking forward to being placed with the fictive kin, or is she allowed?
She's super excited. She wants a date so she can have a countdown calendar.
Okay. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Michelson, any questions?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just briefly, the contact information that you provided me regarding Mr. McLeod, his location is Ellsworth Correctional Facility. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. And his earliest date of release is May 26th of 2025 or 2026. I'm sorry, May 30th of 2026. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I noticed in your report, you've had mixed results with contact with Mr. McLeod. Is that correct?
Yes.
When was the last time you had contact with Mr. McLeod?
A letter came to Peyton in December. I have not received a letter back. I'm hoping to get one this time, but I know the prison system also is not the best with the mail either.
Right. And is he working any services?
Not at this time.
Okay. Has he completed any services?
No.
Okay. Pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak?
Thank you so much, Judge. Shay, it's always good to see you. Is Mom currently having visits?
No, they were suspended in December.
Okay. And I hate to keep, beating a dead horse, but the state of Texas has control of this little girl right now. We need to get her tonsils taken out.
Oh, yes.
Will you promise to keep me in the loop, at least by email, maybe text or phone? Emails and texts are better than phone calls. I'll
Yes.
see them first. You promise to keep me in the loop on the status of getting that done. If there's anything I can do, I'm not sure if there is. I'm more than happy to help, Shay.
I can find out. I stay on the placement about, where we're at with it every week. I've been asking. So.
Gotcha. You're in good contact with Michaela.
Yes.
Excellent. Shay, thank you so much. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anyone else have further questions for Ms. Cairns? Yes, Ms. Archer.
Ms. Cairns, has my client expressed concern about having the surgery and then having her not heal with the fictive kin?
Yes, she has.
Is it her wish that the surgery be done in Oklahoma so that she can be with someone she's very familiar with during recovery?
Yes, it is.
No further questions.
Okay. Anyone else?
Quick follow-up. When did Emberly live with this fictive kid in Oklahoma?
I want to say around 2 years ago. I'm not quite sure on the time. I
And
apologize.
how long did she live there, Shay?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I apologize.
Would you agree with me that placement is a very loving, comforting place for her right now?
Yes, it is.
And they would meet all of her needs, probably exceed her needs in terms of her recovery here in Amarillo, correct?
Yes.
Thank you
She'd
so
be
much.
the only one there too.
Shay, thank you, Judge. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Anyone else? Okay, then, Mr. Albee, anything further from the department?
No, Your Honor, I'll rest.
All right, Ms. Archer?
No, Judge, we would just ask if she does test negative that her visits could be reinstated.
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Michelson, any witnesses?
No witnesses, Your Honor. We rest.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak, recommendations?
Child's doing really well in placement, and this is we've talked about this before in this court. It's an excellent placement. She's doing great. I recommend that she stay there and so you can get her surgery here as quick as possible in Amarillo. If for no other reason to get the tonsils out, and then she can go see her dentist.
Yeah.
There's just like a domino effect when you've got this stuff going on.
Right.
So my recommendation is maintain the child where the child is, encourage mom to work services, and let's get this surgery as quick as possible.
All right, Mr. Nowak, would you agree that if they find out that we could get it done quicker if she was moved to Oklahoma and placed with the fictive kin, then that would be in her, it sounds like she's excited to go. So would you agree with me that if they can get the surgery in Oklahoma quicker than in Texas, and then she'd be right there with the people she's comfortable with, would you say we should go ahead and move her?
I would. I'd like to talk to these folks in Oklahoma before then. But yeah, I mean, all things being equal, if they're just as good caregivers in Oklahoma as we are here in Amarillo, absolutely. Like Shay talked about earlier, this little girl's had strep, 5, 6, 7 times since she's been in placement. Yeah, the quicker the better. It just boggles my mind that we just can't get it done quicker here in Amarillo. But yeah, Judge, I agree with you. If we can get it done, all things being equal, if we can get it done quicker in Oklahoma, let's move this little girl there.
Okay, good. Okay. All right. Then Ms. Ledbetter, CASA have anything to add?
Yes, Your Honor. I have spoken with the potential placement out of Oklahoma. They are now a licensed foster home and they have access to all the necessities that she would need in Oklahoma as well. And they are willing to get her into an ENT if needed. Amberly is only 6. She is doing very well in placement, but we would like to see her in a more of a family setting. So we would like to see her move to Oklahoma as soon as possible.
So you would agree that if we can get the surgery done as quicker in Oklahoma, that she wants to go. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Okay, then. I will, first of all, as I said, I'm granting the motion to extend the case and retain the case on the court's docket. I'll continue the department as temporary managing conservator. I'll continue the current placement today. However, I will order and approve placement of the child with the fictive kin in Oklahoma. With that caveat, this is going to be great for somebody who has to draft this order, but if the surgery can be done as quick or quicker in Oklahoma, I'll order that Emberly be moved immediately to the fictive kin in Oklahoma. If it's going to be quicker to have the surgery done here in Texas, then I'll order that she remain in her current placement until the surgery is complete, and then as soon as the doctors say it's okay, then we will move her to the fictive kin in Oklahoma. I'm going to order Ms. McLeod to both hair strand and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today. Is that going to be, where do we do it? Is it
Dumas, Your Honor.
Is that CDT still?
It is.
Okay, so I'll order her to hair and UA drug screen by 4 p.m. today at CDT and Dumas. I'll throw this in. I'll order that St. Francis and/or the department take all steps necessary or all steps they can to aid in Emberly having the tonsillitis surgery. I'm going to order that Ms. McLeod undergo a second OSAR assessment and follow any and all recommendations. Okay, Brittany, what about a final in a couple of months?
I'm looking at April 16th. It's a Wednesday.
Okay. Then I will order the next hearing be a final set on April 16th, 2025. That will be by Zoom like today's hearing, so parties and attorneys can go on the court's online docket a day or two in advance to see exactly what time we'll have that hearing. Ms. McLeod, again, barring some unforeseen miracle, I won't be granting another continuance in this case. We'll be going forward with a final on April 16th. So. Okay, all right, we'll stand in recess on this case. For those of you involved, I think we have one more hearing, another final. That's a Gray County case.